Hey folks, welcome to part 8 of my building a guitar practice routine that fits into your life and makes you better. So one of the things that I like to practice quite a lot is just riffs and licks from some of my favorite players or favorite bands, and I like to incorporate that into my practice because really when you're playing guitar or learning an instrument, what inspires you is the musicians and the bands and the guitar players that you listen to, that have sort of driven you to pick up the instrument in the first place. So I like to work on some of those licks, work on some of those riffs, because those are the things that initially just inspired me to pick up the guitar and play. So I like to spend part of my practice time, even if it's just 5 minutes a day, just working on whatever lick or riff is really inspiring me at that moment, and I try as hard as I can to sort of get it down as closely as possible. What I find with my own playing is that when I'm working on these things that for a while I'm sort of practicing it or trying to practice it note for note, try and get it as close as possible so that I can learn the techniques involved in actually working on the actual riff itself. And then eventually these things kind of morph into my own personal style of playing it. So I might learn, like a Jimi Hendrix or a Steve Vai lick, and it ends up getting sort of, I suppose, twisted into my own style, my own way of playing it, and that's fine. It used to annoy me to start with, because I'd be like, I'm not playing it exactly like Jimi Hendrix could play it and all that kind of thing, until I realized that that's very hard to do, really, and kind of pointless, because if you want to play exactly like Jimi Hendrix, or you want to hear it exactly like Jimi Hendrix, just listen to Jimi Hendrix doing it. Learn the lick, learn the techniques behind it, and then try and absorb that into your own playing, so that you can utilize that inspiring musical phrase in your own playing, and then it starts to become something really special, which is really what Jimi Hendrix and Steve Vai, or whoever it is that you like to listen to, that's what they did. They learned from other people, and then they created their own thing out of the licks and the riffs that they learned from others, to make their own style, that inspired you to pick up the guitar. So what I'm going to do is just kind of have a look at some really quick, beginner, intermediate, and advanced licks that you can work on. The beginner ones are fairly straightforward. You'll have heard them before. But the advanced one is kind of a Steve Vai thing that I work on from time to time. Anyway, here's the beginner one, one that you've probably all heard. Just take something really simple to start with, like that, and that's obviously the White Stripes, Seven Nation Army, all played on one string. So you can just take that and just learn it, and just keep working on it until you can do it, as well as you possibly can. Cool. For an intermediate kind of thing, then let's do some Jimi Hendrix. So here's a lick from Hey Joe, and it goes like this. So something like that is probably an intermediate style lick, and you know, again, you can look up all these tabs and things online. I'm not going to show you specific licks or break them down for you because it's subjective. These are the things that inspired me, but you know, for you personally, I think that, you know, it depends on what you want to learn. So you find the licks that you want to learn. So here's one that inspired me very much when I first heard it, and it's Blue Powder by Steve Vai. There we go, or something like that. I'm sure that if you actually watched Steve Vai play it, he would do it a little bit differently, but again, I've kind of worked it into my own playing there. So again, the lesson here is, you know, spend some time in your practice routine working on those licks and those riffs that inspire you to play. And I think that you'll find that you'll get a lot of technical knowledge, but also musical knowledge out of that. So I hope that's inspired you, and I will see you in the next video. Bye for now.